I want you to imagine that the black carpet here represents the path that is more commonly traveled. You know, the part where you've gone to university and joined that graduate program, and bam, next thing you know it, you've been with this company for over a decade. You're comfortable, it's stable, you go on holidays, you even have the right to put up an out-of-office email when you're on holiday. Okay, now I'm just being sour because I can't remember the last time that I put up an out-of-office email. Then you have people who are outliers, the people who go down the path less traveled, the people who wander off the beaten path. Let's say that this yellow spot represents that. And whenever people edge towards or play around with the concept or the idea of the path less traveled and the unknown territory, these random words start to appear, random voices suddenly appear. You shouldn't be doing that, right? How do you know this is gonna work? You're a bit ambitious, don't you think? Okay, you up here, crazy. Well, hi, my name is Jenny and I am crazy, and I'm here to share with you some of the things that I've noticed that have a compounding effect when you go down the path less traveled. In 2016, in Sydney, I joined a company called BCG Digital Ventures, which is the venture building arm of a consulting company, which means we work with the world's largest corporates to build tech startups. 3 days after I joined, they shipped me off to Malaysia. Not much context, not much onboarding, and of course, no time to react to the incredible nervousness and anxiety and the 10,000 questions that I had in my head. I landed in Malaysia. But to my surprise, that this experience allowed me to realize that I had an incredible ability to deal with ambiguity. And I quickly found my feet, and I was able to help the project team to deliver. In 2017, BCGDV wanted to set up their presence in China. So I was given the opportunity to pack up my bags and go to Shanghai, a place that I'd barely been to before, and work with HQ to make this all happen. With my life in 4 pieces of luggage, I said yes to the opportunity and I moved to China. Here I am, what you can't tell in this photo because it's still me and my cheerful smile. What you can't tell is this, up until this single point in my life, here, right here, I'm experiencing my single biggest dose of butterflies in my stomach. But what followed was a period of extreme growth, both personally and professionally. Over time, I have learnt the correlation between the butterflies in your stomach moments and periods of extreme growth. So much so that I now go seeking those butterflies because I use it as a proxy for my growth. So my first point is simple. When you go down the startup path, or when you're presented with a path that's less traveled and the odds whisper in your ear, it can't be done. I want you to let the butterflies in your stomach to remind you that it can be done and it will be done. Embrace those butterflies. No, you know what? Let's go harder. Let's be more ambitious. Chase the butterflies. My next hot take is that happiness is never at the destination. I call this the "I'll be happy when" syndrome. It's the part where we tell ourselves that I'll be happy when I get my first 100 customers. I'll be happy when we get to $1 million in ARR. I'm not gonna lie, that one I really like. I'm gonna be happy when I close this round of funding. 2 years ago, I took the leap of faith alongside a group of equally crazy but like-minded people to build a startup, bootstrapped and self-funded. When you quit your full-time, stable, well-paid job in the pandemic, you can't help yourself but to set some predetermined or predefined milestones to try to make it and validate that you've made the right decision to quit your full-time job. Since the wider launch of our platform in August last year, we've been able to onboard over 800 SMEs, and the platform has helped small businesses to access over US $24 million in funding. We've been selected to provide proof of concepts with one local bank and one virtual bank in Hong Kong. And whilst we're bootstrapped and self-funded and all this amazing traction coming through, we closed our pre-seed round in June this year. This might surprise you, but looking back, the happiest and most memorable moments in the journey so far has nothing to do with the milestones that I just mentioned to you and the ones that you just clapped to. But the happiest and most memorable moments have everything to do with moments like this, the little gains, the unexpected opportunity that came up and we crushed it as a team. The part where we've been circling around a problem and getting really frustrated by each other just to join a meeting like this and laughing our pants off because they put my face on the product prototype. Momentum is not just about motion. It is a mindset. My second point is that when you are working against many odds, don't hang your satisfaction or happiness off external milestones. You have to fall in love. You have to fall in love with the process, the journey, the everyday, the grind. Claim the little gains. Celebrate those silent and small victories that no one saw, because those are the ones which are the true source of motivation for you to take action on. Which leads me to my final point. The art of taking action consistently. The other day, I came across a post by Sahil Bloom, which I really enjoyed, so I'm going to share that with you. He observed that extraordinary people are just ordinary people who are willing to play a game for an extraordinary length of time. Very few people are willing to play a game for decades. If you are, then you have unfair advantage. In truth, the startup stories that you hear are mostly misleading. Remember the part where you're clapping your hands for milestones? The real stories are much more boring and much more mundane. It's sometimes just to do with showing up, day in, day out, rain, hail, or shine. It's to do with our unwavering commitment and the sheer craziness to believe that something in this world that doesn't exist just yet should exist, and you should build it, and you're gonna pour your heart and soul into making it happen. Crazy, right? It is that type of optimism that refuses to see failure as the end point, but rather it just means we haven't figured it all out yet. Yet being the key word. Surround yourself with people that charge you up on this type of optimism. With a dear friend of mine who is also a tech founder, we text each other every morning to hype each other up with unrealistic levels of positivity. With a team, we're recently addicted to chanting, "Let's get it," with dual fist pumps, not one, but two. Let's get it. Become that unstoppable force. Embody stubborn optimism. And that is my single biggest hack. Being stubbornly optimistic is my superpower to win against all odds. It is the fuel that allows me to chase those butterflies, to claim the little gains, and to take action consistently. If you can find light in the darkness, you will always make it. I want to leave you with a powerful quote that I know many startups pin onto their walls. And I want you to remember, if you ever find yourself down the path less traveled, and if you ever find yourself in the startup arena or on a yellow dot just like me today, it is not the critic who counts. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood. Theodore Roosevelt. From my team to yours, let's get it. Thank you.